Hey guys, it's Jess and I am going to be first showing you this order that came in the mail today. I have been totally taking advantage of My Favorite Things' new shipping policy, which is instead of free shipping after $50, it's free shipping after $25. So they have this thing every Wednesday where they do Wednesday Blitz Day. And they have select items on sale. And now that there is a $25 shipping minimum for free shipping, or price minimum, whatever, order minimum, then I feel more like I can take advantage of jumping on some of those sales rather than like waiting for it to be a bigger order. So I'm really excited about that. So I picked up just a couple of things. Hey Renee, hey Courtney, hey Carol. So I just picked up a couple things. I picked up this stamp set, which I've wanted forever. You guys know how I love my galaxy backgrounds. So I grabbed this one, which is called Space Explorer. And then I got this one, which is just You Are My Sunshine. I thought this was perfect for some just because cards. And then this one is a set of dies. This one is called, I think it's called Leaping Slider Channels. Yeah, Leaping Slider Channels. And this is for doing slider cards. So I know we had talked before in some previous recent videos about having like my apple fall from the tree and be able to move back and forth. And I didn't have any dies for it, so I decided to get some so that I can do some more interactive cards, which I'm really excited about. I don't do enough of those, I think. So I'm really excited. Now I also do have my stuff that I unboxed the last time we were live, which was on Monday. And so that is like my paints from Dina Wakley. I added a bunch of new paint colors. Hey Georgia. And I'm excited to be able to use those. So we've got a lot of options as far as what we can do tonight. Nothing super particular planned. I did want to tell you guys that if you haven't checked it out yet, I do have a new video up about the Color My Life app. And that is kind of just an overview of what the app is all about and how you can use it to organize your stamps and craft supplies. I'm really enjoying it. The only thing that I don't like is that there's not currently an Android version. So it's currently only available for people who have Apple products, iPhone, iPad, whatever. But hopefully that will be coming before too long. And people who have Android phones will be able to use it as well. Okay, so I'm thinking I'll just start making something and then we'll kind of see where it takes me. I don't know. I'm feeling indecisive. And sorry about my scratchy throat thing going on. I've been having a rough go. The kids, I feel like, are always sick with something, and my husband keeps bringing stuff home from the ship. And it's been a hot mess, so I apologize for my voice. Okay, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this out in some alcohol marker friendly ink. I like to use right now the Spectrum Noir Finesse black ink. This is Noir black, and I find that it works really well. It doesn't smear. Oh, that's okay, Georgia. I just wiped some of the ink off, so I'm not going to get a good stamp. That's okay, though. We've got our MISTI out and ready to go. I think I'm going to need a re-inker for this ink pad soon. It feels like it's starting to get dry, like just based on when I look at it. I don't know. It just seems like maybe it's getting a little dry, but I use it a ton. So it's no surprise that it would be running out of ink. I use it a lot, so that's totally okay. All right, so there's that. I'm just going to set this aside for now. Like I said, we'll see where it takes us. I don't really know what I'm planning to do here. Let's see. I'm going to stick this underneath while we color just in case. I think... trying to debate what I want to do as far as color mediums go. Can probably stick with my traditional alcohol Is it cheaper to re-ink rather than buy new? Yes, definitely yes. It pretty much doesn't matter what we're talking about, whether it's an alcohol marker or an ink pad, because see you, Georgia. Like this is a re-inker for a Distress Oxide, and it costs less than the Distress Oxide ink pad, and you don't only get one re-ink out of it. The refill, I don't know exactly how many times you could refill your ink pad. I guess it depends on how dry it is when you go to refill it, but you can refill your ink pad several times with just one re-inker. So definitely I recommend getting the re-inkers. It's definitely worth it. I thought I was going to make a mess with stuff too, but it's really not bad. Like for example, I have this one here. It's actually this one that I was just looking at. So this one you have to shake really well. I don't necessarily know that it really needs to be re-inked right now, but I'll just show you because why not? So you just shake it up really well. Hi, Tracy. Take the lid off nice and careful. So you've got the little, it's almost like a fine tip applicator. I mean, it's a smaller, but you just drop the little drops right on. Wherever you tend to use the ink the most, I tend to go more towards the center. And then you can just let it soak in. You can see the little drops there. Eventually they will just absorb into the ink pad, and then you can replace your lid. But we can just leave it sitting there. Yeah, no, it's not messy. It's really easy. It's not bad at all. And then the alcohol markers are like that too. I thought I was going to make a huge mess, but it really wasn't bad. I would just recommend using a pair of tweezers on the chisel side of your, if you're using Copics, for example, I would just use a pair of tweezers to pop out the chisel tip, and then pour the re-inker right in there, and then you just put it back in and you're good to go. Hey, Anna. Hi, Crystal. Okay, so I think, I don't really know. I guess I'm just going to go with some light grays to start out with. We could cut a mask and then do some ink blending or something for a cool sky. I don't really know yet. I'm not sure where I want to go. Or we can, hi B, or we can cut him out and use him somewhere else. Like if we do a fun gel print background maybe. I don't know. Lots of possibilities. Okay, so I'm using a cool gray because I find that those look most like metal. And I'm just going to start there for now. Let's see, IG2. You can't see the number on the bottom anymore, but this one is IG2. It kind of rubbed off a bit. That's okay. I think I'm going to try to do kind of like a sort of a side highlight over here. So it's going to kind of come like that and like that. Cool. Wish I had a way to show you all a Christmas card. Oh my gosh, you can post it over on my Facebook page. I have a Facebook page under Jess Francisco Official. If you post over there, then people can see it. That is just exactly the reason why I created that Facebook page. All right, so now I'm using IG4. So I'm just going up the little scale here, adding a little bit darker of a color each time, just to help get a nice blend. I find that for these alcohol markers, the Spectrum Noir coloring system markers, I find that skipping a number is generally pretty safe. However, some of the color families you do kind of have to be careful with because it doesn't really work the same way. So I just find that I do need to kind of test it out first. before I go crazy doing my blending. Okay, so then this one is IG6. I colored outside the line a little bit there, but that's all right. Oh well. Happens to the best of us, right? What's it called again? Oh, it's Jess Francisco Official. If you wait a second, if you can't find it, I can send a link here in just a minute. All right, so now I'm just going back down in the colors. So I went back down to IG2 and then now IG1, just to kind of smooth out those areas. And then that leaves me with a really cute little highlight there in the center left sort of area. Hey, Kelly. Okay, I can type in the address now that I finished that part. http facebook.com/Jess Francisco Official. That should take you right there, I hope. It didn't turn into a link, but maybe if you just copy paste it. I wonder why it didn't turn into a link. I don't know. Weird. YouTube is a little strange sometimes about what it links and what it doesn't link. Hopefully, I don't know. I'm not going to dwell on it too much, but you should be able to copy and paste it and end up over there. Unless I typed it wrong, but I don't think so. Jess Francisco Official. Yeah, it looks right to me. All right, so doing the same thing here, just using the same colors. And then I'll go back over it with my lightest, just to kind of blend it out a little bit. And I want to leave kind of some empty space there in the center just so that it gives more of a highlight. I think that looks really nice. Okay, so, oh, did I not say? You're right, it should be HTTP. That was my fat finger mess up. You're right. www.facebook.com/Jess Francisco Official. Okay, there we go. Thanks, Tracy. Leave it to me to not even realize. Okay, so you can see my little drops there are still kind of sitting right on the top. I'm going to wait a little bit longer before I put the lid back on, but it's fun. Another thing you can do actually while I'm sitting here and have it open, I might as well, because I use this one quite frequently. Instead of just doing drops, you can also do like this, where you kind of just like do a zigzag sort of thing, and then you can kind of come back and do it from the other direction, like so. I use this one a lot, so I'm not going to over ink it. I'm not worried about that, but that should give it a little bit more even spacing as far as the re-ink goes. Okay, so let's see. The rest of his suit, we can do the same colors and then just maybe do it a little bit lighter because I don't want him to get too dark. So we'll just kind of keep him as a light gray for pretty much everything. That little panel in the center there, I'm going to wait on. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but when I buy my favorite things images, I tend to stick to the same ones. I buy Birdie Brown images like almost exclusively. So if they're little characters, chances are they're probably going to be Birdie Brown. This style, I don't know, it's just so cute to me. I absolutely love it. All right, so for these little bands, I am going to go ahead and add in the darker colors. This one is IG4. The one I just used was IG2. And that's going to give us that more metallic sort of look if we get that nice highlight in the center. There we go. And you can see I just kind of like added just a little bit on the outside edges because I didn't want to add too much darkness. I wanted to keep it fairly light still, but add a little bit more depth to it. So I'm going to do the same thing here with this little band. And his pant legs, I might do a different color, but I haven't yet decided. I'm not sure yet. Sometimes I can't make up my mind. And I'm not even going to worry about going back over. Normally I would go through and then re-blend the colors, but because this is such a small area and I really want that highlight to stay prominent or the focus, I'm really not even going to bother going back through and changing anything. Okay, so let me think. I'm trying to decide. I think I'm just going to keep it all similar. I think it's fine. Sorry about my children. You can hear them being hellions in the hallway. They just got out of the shower, so they're a little loud and obnoxious. Okay. And I'm just going to go in and kind of add a little bit of shading. Not much, just a little bit. So that my little guy looks a little more realistic. There we go. Okay. And I literally have just used the same colors over and over again here. I'm not getting too involved. And then just as fine as I can, I'm going to go in and add just a little bit more of a darker shadow in the shade areas. I don't know what we're calling these. I guess just the shadows. There we go. And again, that just adds that next level, I guess, of the depth to him. So he looks a little more realistic. And I think with IG2, I'm just going to add a little bit to the back of his foot there. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so our little guy's suit is mostly done. And then I think we're gonna do one red button. That should do one red button. I think I'm gonna do a green button. And I'm just kind of using the side area over here to test things and make sure the color looks okay before I actually go ahead and add it. And then I have no idea what color this stuff would be on a regular astronaut, but I don't really care. It doesn't really matter to me. Yeah. So this one is ice blue, so it's IB1. I just want to give kind of the faintest little bit of color here, but unfortunately it seems like my marker is a little dry. Imagine that. Yeah, it's pretty dry. It's because I use this one and TB1 for my backgrounds. Hi Connie. Whenever I do, oh, that was TB1. I'm sorry, not ice blue. That was T. All right, so this one should be a little bit better. Yeah. No wonder that one was kind of dead. I use that one the most for my backgrounds when I do sky or water, any of those things. All right, so that was IB1. Let's see. Do I have my color chart somewhere nearby? Here we go. I think AB1 should be okay. This was like an aqua blue, just for kind of the, yeah. Like the shadows of this one. Cool. Cute. I'm going to add just a little bit of that color to his boots. Even though it's gray, it will still show through a little bit. It won't be quite as vibrant, but I think it's a nice touch. Cool. All right, so hair-wise, I think we'll just give him some brown hair. Why not? I'm going to start with MB1. And I'm just going to go ahead and color all of his hair in this base color. Perfect. And then I'm going to come in with MB2. These are muted browns. A little bit of a shadow here around where the helmet is. And then kind of a little tick up from his hair. Then we're going to go in with MB3. Hey, Heidi. I got this new stamp set. Well, new to me anyway. New to me stamp set. So I am testing it out. Getting my color on, you know. I'm going to add a couple little downward sort of ticks there from the top so that it doesn't look weird. Sometimes if you have this like straight line going across his head, it will look super bizarre. So you can kind of combat that by just adding some downward motion from that shadow up at the top, like this. And just kind of make it go the same direction as the hair would be going. Hey, Eliza. It's a little darker on the camera than it looks for me in real life. So that's kind of weird, but that's, I think, how I'm going to leave that. I am going to keep out, I'm going to go ahead and put the lid back on this. I'm going to go ahead and keep out my MB1, but then I'm going to go ahead and grab, I think it's FS3. FS3 has been the color that I have been choosing for my base tone for some of my skin color choices lately. I like that. Because it's got like a little bit of a peachy tone towards it. It's not like drained of all color, but it's also, it's not too pink. All right, and then I'm going to go in with the MB1. So we actually use this as the base color for his hair. But I think it looks really nice as a complementary color for, I don't know if it's a complementary color, but a coordinating color for that FS3. I think it works really nice. It just adds a nice little bit of shading there. Okay. I think I want one shade darker. I'm actually going to try the MB3 and just see, like, just for the outline. I don't know if I've ever tried this before, but he is supposed to be in outer space, so I feel like it would be normal for the shadows to be quite a bit darker here, just because he is in a helmet and it's dark, presumably. Yeah, I think he's so cute. Totes adorbs. Okay, I love him to death. He's so cute. Let's go ahead and color in those balloons then. His little stars. Now the question is, do we want to go colorful with the stars, or do we want to keep them like yellowish? I don't really know. I guess it kind of depends on what we're doing for the background. I'm not sure. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I think I've got some turquoises and stuff in here, so I think it would be okay to do, I want to do like a turquoise and a pink and a purple, maybe. That could be fun, because they're not necessarily like what you would normally think of for stars. I don't know. All right, let's start with my current favorite pink combo, which is kind of weird. I'm gonna go with instead of that, I'm gonna use MG5. Hold on one second. MG3, 4. Oh, there it is. It looks red. It's not. Okay, so we're going to start with AP1, a nice light pink. Okay, so if the thing is there, I'm going to kind of figure out where I want my highlights to be. Okay, AP3. All right. There is also a new Lawn Fawn challenge out right now, and that is Halloween. And it's got like a color palette that you can follow. So I may choose to do that on Monday. I'm not sure. Possibly. We'll see, I guess. It's getting closer to like Halloween and all that, so I may start trying to figure out costumes and things. I should really be more on top of all of this, but I just haven't been. I have not been keeping up. All right. So this is getting pretty saturated. I may need to just kind of leave it and come back to it and see what it looks like once it has a chance to dry a little bit. I don't want to keep adding more ink because you can see it's bleeding through here already, but I don't want it to start bleeding into the other colors. So I'm going to try to leave that for a minute. Then I think I'm going to use AB1, AB3, and then I think I usually use BT5 with this. So this has kind of become one of my favorite color combinations. I really love like a good turquoise or teal, even minty sort of colors. They are some of my favorites. So it's always really fun for me to pick out these color combinations. I really like them. Hey, Louisana, how's it going? We are coloring this new to me, my favorite things stamp. Using my Spectrum Noirs. Hey, Stacy. How's it going, girlfriend? I know, I feel like it's been a little while since I've seen you in a live. Life's got you busy with your traveling. Okay. And then I'm going to do the backwards thing. Oh, thanks. I'm not really good at light sources, so I really do need to, it's on my list to make time to take the Kit and Clowder classes on light sources and all of that, because I really, really want to learn more about how to get more depth and dimension and all that for my images, because I really want to make them look more realistic. What are the boys going to be for Halloween? We're kind of still up in the air, to be honest. I think that we're just going to go with a firefighter for Benton, because he is, I don't know, he's hard to please right now. They were having a fight over who was going to get to be Luigi. It's actually kind of a funny story. I don't know if I told you this already, but so they were already Mario and Luigi for Halloween one year. Benton was 2 weeks old, and he won a costume contest dressed as Luigi, which is super cute. But also, they've already been that. And I was kind of just like, no, I don't think we're going to do that. We're not going to be the same thing you already were. You've already done it. Let's just move on. But Benton has been like obsessed and really wanting to be Luigi. And then Kieran was like, no, I want to be Luigi. So they're fighting over who's going to get to be Luigi, right? And so I'm like, okay, well, this is not going to work. We can't have them fighting over the costume. So I was thinking, well, maybe one of them could be Toad, one of them could be Mario. Even though I really didn't want them to be the same thing that they had already been. But whatever. So in our parent ways, you know, we're trying to find a way to convince Kieran, our older son, to just give in, basically, and be Mario instead of fighting over who's going to get to be Luigi, right? Well, my husband is like, okay, so they're fighting, and they're like, I want to be Luigi. No, I want to be Luigi. And my husband's like, oh, Kieran, what if you were Red Luigi? Like it was like this groundbreaking thing. And Kieran stopped, and he sat there for a minute, and then he went, Papa, Red Luigi? That's Mario. And I about died laughing because he's 5 and he's like now outsmarted trying to outsmart him. We were like, well, that's off the table. He's not falling for that trick. Red Luigi. I'm dying. I don't know why. I thought that was hilarious. He was not fooled. Not for a second. But anyway, so now we think because Benton got a fire hat for his birthday, and he's been wearing it like nonstop. So we were thinking about having him just be a firefighter. And then I was kind of going through stuff today trying to get Kieran to pick one. And then Kieran said he wants to be a ninja. So we will see if he sticks with that. If he wants to be a ninja, I'm totally fine with that. Yeah, it's just that, hi Linda, by the way, I don't know if I said hi to you. It's just that I don't want them to be the same thing they already were. Like if there's other things that they could be, I would rather they did something that they hadn't done yet. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna just add in like a couple little gel pen accents here, although I wish now that I would have waited on that one until it was a little more dry, because it's kind of bleeding a little bit. And this is hopefully, I don't know if it will, but hopefully going to make it look a little more dimensional. I don't know. Like if I do them at a curve like this, then hopefully it makes it look like they're kind of more puffy, sort of. The red Power Ranger 3 years in a row. Oh my gosh. Well, maybe I shouldn't care then. Okay, so our Halloween history has been as such. Kieran's first Halloween, he was Harry Potter, because he actually shares a birthday with Harry Potter. So he was Harry Potter, his first birthday. And his second birthday, well, not his second birthday, his second Halloween. His first Halloween, he was Harry Potter. His second Halloween, he was a hobbit, because, of course, he was short and tiny, and it was perfect. And then his third Halloween, he was Mario, and Benton was Luigi. His fourth Halloween, he was, they both were, Link from Legend of Zelda. And then now this year, we're on his fifth Halloween. So they were, last year, they were both Link from Zelda, but they were different color Links. I don't know if you guys are into video games, but there's like a blue Link and a red Link and a green Link. So they were all different types of Link. Anyway, okay, so I'm just going to go in and add a couple of little accents here and there to hopefully kind of like brighten things up a little bit, because he does get a little bit dark. Yeah. Okay. When they get older, they won't remember. Yeah, but nowadays, there's pictures of everything. Oh, I have no idea. We've never bought a costume. We've always just made them. So I don't know if there are certain popular costumes or not. I usually just make them. But I don't know if I'm going to do that this year. I don't feel like I have time for that. He was set on being the same thing. It's like, okay, I guess less work for me. Okay, so now we've got our cute little dude colored. We have to decide if we are cutting him out and putting him on something else, or if we're going to create the background here. So, what do you guys think? I'm going to take a drink, let you, whatever Christopher says, talk amongst yourselves. Because I don't really know. And I have, while we're thinking about what we're doing for the card. Oh, that's not a good thing. It's got a bunch of colors bleeding through. Give me some white cardstock. Okay. I have, there's no one on the planet I love more than you. Oh, Heidi, I was just asking what we should do. If we should leave him here and make the scene behind him, or if we should cut him out and then attach him to another card. I'm over the moon for you. Mission Control, we have a birthday. Have a blast, and you mean the world to me. I think they're all super cute. If we do some sort of background, I'll have to mask him, which shouldn't be too bad. The only annoying thing, and honestly, I wouldn't even bother. I think I would just not even worry about the strings. Speaking of the strings, I just realized that these little balloon knobs are not colored in. So I'm just going to use like the middle color from each of those. And it is bleeding a little bit, so... well, either way, I have to fussy cut, right? Because if I mask it, I have to fussy cut the mask. So it seems like I have to fussy cut no matter what. Sweet for me, right? Okay, so I've got my scissors. I do also have my little Post-its here, and he fits barely. Although, I don't know, I might have to get creative. Let's go ahead and stamp him, I guess. Louisana says galaxy background. Galaxy background using which medium, though? I'm gonna try. Let's see. He's like just slightly. Is he just slightly too big? No, I think he might fit right there. Uh-oh. Angle the sticky note. Yeah, sticky note diamond. I think it'll be okay this way. The reason I don't want to do it as a diamond is because the end of the sticky note over here isn't actually sticky, because that's the part that is made for you to like pull off. So I'm gonna do my best. Galaxy glitter acrylic paint. That sounds super exciting. I think that's okay. Because like over here, it's not actually sticky. So if I try to ink blend while it's like that, it won't work. Okay, get that out of the way. Take out our fussy cutting scissors. All right, it's gonna be a while. Get comfortable. Okay, so what kind of galaxy background do we want to do? We can do ink blending. I think that's probably going to be easiest. We could also, I don't think I really want to do an alcohol marker background, to be honest. I don't really love them. It's just so much ink. I mean, I sometimes do. I sometimes like it, but when it's something like crazy dark like that, it takes so much. Spectrum Noir sparkle pens. I have 3. I also have the clear, but I have these ones. Wait. Yeah. So I have purple, blue, pink, and clear. Those are the only ones I have. Yeah, this one is a whole sticky note. It's just that there's a little strip right here that's not sticky, so that you can actually pull it off. It's like the reverse of a normal sticky note. A normal sticky note has one strip that is sticky. These ones have one strip that's not sticky and the rest is. So it's just so that you can actually peel it off. Yeah, I haven't tried, Stacy, by the way, I haven't tried any acrylic paint that is galaxy glitter. That sounds fabulous. And it makes me wish that I had some. Do you just get that at the craft store? That sounds amazing. You guys know I love a good galaxy background. I feel like that's the thing I either make water cards or galaxy cards. Why is that? Why am I always making galaxy cards or underwater cards? Oh, thanks. You're so sweet. Are you back home, Stacy, or are you still traveling? Finally got my Heavy Doodle stamps and can't get my live stream to work. Oh no, what's wrong with it? Okay, don't scream. I'm gonna cut this into 2 separate masks. Because there's no way I can mask off those strings. Like, it doesn't matter anyway, they're just black lines. I can just draw back over them with a black pen if I need to, but I'm just gonna cut it separately. So I will stick the stars on independently of my little space dude. And I think that will be a-okay. Also, do you guys have any suggestions for books to read? Because I'm literally reading The Lord of the Rings again, and I just finished reading the Harry Potter series again, and I love them. They're like my favorite books ever. Obviously, or else I wouldn't keep reading them or referencing them or doing all the things that I do in my life about them, around them, whatever. But also, I kind of feel like I need to read something new. So do you guys have any suggestions for books to read? Things that you guys like? I do tend to like fantasy, stuff like that. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. I've, of course, read Twilight. I've read, like, the young adult stuff, like Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I like stuff like that, even if it's, like, lighthearted and, silly or teen seeming. I like that kind of stuff, so that is okay in my book. Haha, see what I did there? In my book. I'm like the corniest person ever. I was supposed to be a guy, I'm pretty sure, because then I would be like the king of dad jokes as a dad. But now I'm just the queen of dad jokes as the mom. That is why I like puns so much, you know. Oh, Aragon. You know what? I think I started reading that like a million years ago. But why didn't I finish it? Because I know I haven't read them all. There's multiple, right? There's like 4. Are there 4 of them? I don't remember. All right, we're almost there. I think I'm gonna try masking with masking fluid again soon. So I know that I didn't have the greatest results with it when I tried it the last time. So I kind of want to give it another try and see, you know, if I can figure it out, because I feel like it would just be so much faster than this. I don't like having to fussy cut all these masks. And then there's this really high chance that ink could bleed through. Watch or read the one with Oprah in it. No, I haven't. Is it a book? I mean, it's a remake, right? Because there was the one from like forever ago, like the 80s or something, maybe. Or am I thinking of the wrong thing? It's book 1 of Inheritance series, I believe. Okay. I'll have to look. I'm going to try to keep a list of everything anybody suggests, because I'm definitely looking for some new things to read. Because, I mean, as much as it's kind of nice, actually, to read the same things over and over again at night anyway, because sometimes, like, I just want to get tired, and reading makes my eyes tired. So, it's kind of nice because, you know, I've already read the book. So, like, if I read something and then I don't really retain it because I'm tired or whatever, like, it doesn't really matter because I've already read the book. It was a book first. Okay. But there was a movie that was older, right, Heidi? Like in the 80s or something? 80s or early 90s, maybe? Is that the one, is A Wrinkle in Time the one that has Atreyu? I'm not sure, but I will check. Okay. I have read the Divergent series. Yes. That's the one where they like get sorted into, not houses, but like there's like 7. Oh, that's A Never-Ending Story. Aha. Okay, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, that's the one where they like get sorted into like families. I don't remember what to call them. They get like sorted basically, and then they like take a test, and then it was the girl, she was put in the Daredevil house. Factions, yes, thank you. I couldn't think of the word. I'm like, yeah, families, houses. Yes, that series. I was really like kind of disappointed about the ending. I've also read The Hunger Games, which every time I've read that, and yeah, I've read that one multiple times too, but every time I read it, I can't get into it at first that it's in first person. Like, it so bothers me. It really bothers me. And then eventually I don't notice it anymore, but it's like when I first start, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't read this. Why is it in the first person present? It's in the present tense, and it's so weird. Okay. Have we decided on a background on what we're doing? I've seen that we're doing Galaxy. But what are we doing? Oh, the Wheel of Time. Is that, Anna, does that have a character named Kale in it? Kael? Maybe not. Now I can't remember. Oh, Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is a little too risque for me, I think. What if he was floating back down to Earth from outer space? Oh, I know. I was thinking either that or the moon. The moon could be cute too. I tried to watch Game of Thrones. I really did. But hold on, let me look up that one. Okay, hold on. Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time. Robert Jordan. Yeah. Hold on. Because is that the one? Maybe it was a different one. One of my friends that I haven't seen in a long time. It might have been a different series, but I think like some author, and for some reason Wheel of Time stuck out to me, but it could have been somebody else. I thought Robert Jordan, but I don't know. He met my friend's dad, I think, and then was like, oh, I really like that name. I'm going to use it in my book. But I think that must not be it, because I just Googled it really quick and it didn't like automatically pop up. So I don't know. Anyway, my friend Kale. It's like Kael. It's a very different spelling of the name Kale. Okay, anyway, so let's figure out this background. It would be easy enough for me to like make a moon, like that it looked like, to make it look like he was landing on the moon, sort of. Hey Jibs, long time no see. It's been forever. Okay, so I've got pink and purple. Usually we use, if we're going to do a galaxy, we usually use maybe a cracked pistachio, or like yellow is good. Oh, what did we do that one time? We did a really cool one where, we did a really cool one where I then got it printed. Hold on. I have them here. That one was really cool. I liked that a lot. I think we just used like a light blue and like the either Victorian velvet or tattered rose. Let's see. Tattered rose. We could probably go with Victorian velvet. All right. I'm getting out like all the colors, you guys. I'm not going to use all of these, but man. Okay. So I'm going to get a couple ink blending tools. Okay. I'm thinking these are going to be my dark fill-in colors. Let's do Victorian velvet. Oh, it was made in 1983. Okay. Hey, my 80s guess was pretty good. All right, I'm going to kind of come in from the side over here. And I do want to be careful not to get too crazy blending over my masks, because it can bleed through if you really saturate the ink. So that's just something to kind of be mindful of as you're blending and whatnot. Okay. I really like this pinky sort of color for this. I think it's really pretty. All right, so I'm going in a little dark here, but with the other colors, it will definitely lighten up a bit. All right, so that is the Victorian velvet. I think I'm going to add in a little bit of the cracked pistachio as well. It's a little different than this one, but a whole lot of blending brushes. Like, Crystal, do you mean like the makeup kind, or which kind of blending brushes? I mean, I think it doesn't really matter. You can use pretty much anything, to be honest. And it all pretty much works, I would say. And I know this looks really ugly, but hopefully we'll be able to pull it together. And if not, we can always just cut him out. Oh, the crafting ones. Yeah. You can definitely use those with your Distress Oxides. I would just recommend that you don't mix and match between Distress Oxides and Distress Inks without cleaning them first. So it depends on what you're doing with them, but you can definitely use them. Okay, so we've done Cracked Pistachio and we've done... You always pull it together, yeah. Well, there have been plenty of times when I have not. So, don't judge me too harshly if at some point I do not pull it together. Alright, so I'm going to start coming in kind of from the sides, like this. And some of it I'm just going to go over with the chipped sapphire. And so that's going to lighten the color, but not completely cover it. Except for that pink, apparently I did mostly cover that. It was a little more ink, or there was a little more ink on the brush than I thought. Whoops. Oh well. Like I'm always saying, you can't win them all. And you can see I'm leaving the bottom down here a little bit light, like I'm not really doing any blending down there. And that is just so that I can add in kind of like a little moon sort of thing down at the bottom. Hey Amanda, how's it going? Okay, so I'm kind of just going over those with the blue. And then we'll take in the black. So far we've used Victorian Velvet, Cracked Pistachio, Chipped Sapphire, and then now Black Soot. And I'm going to start on the edges because those are the areas that I want it to be darkest with the Black Soot. And then I will kind of do the same thing that I did with the Chipped Sapphire and go in and cover up some of those areas so that it's more of a soft, spacey sort of look rather than it being like, wow, bam, in your face. All right, I'm going to soften the edges a little bit. Not really adding too much ink. Okay, and then I'm going to come in over here. Darken that. And down here a bit. Okay. It doesn't look like much, but I think that once we add the little bit of water, and kind of like soak it off, add the white flecks and all of that, I think it'll look okay. I hope it will look okay. We'll see. All right, so I'm going to keep the mask on, and then I'm going to try to be careful not to leave the mask on after I do this part, and then I'll put it back on once it dries. I'm going to spray the water in my hand and then just flick it on like so. And this is going to lift that color, make it more splotchy. And then I'm going to go ahead and take a pair of scissors and take my masks off. Hopefully they got a little more saturated than I would have liked. Oh boy. And now you see I don't get everything right every time either. All right, so we're having a little problem, and part of the problem is my mask is like really wet. Also, part of the sticky stuff is sticking to my coloring. So This is another reason why it would be better to use masking fluid instead of the sticky notes if you're going to be using water. Because you can see here, my little sticky note is like shredding. I think we're okay though. I think we did all right. I might not be able to use it again, but we'll see. I added quite a bit of water. So that is why I had a little more trouble than usual, because I added a little more water than I normally do. But I think it looks really cool. I like that a lot. I like that bit of blue there. I think it's great. It's got a little bit of pink around his head. I think it's so cute. All right, so the only thing is that once, what I might actually just do is, instead of trying to put the masks back on, I think I'm going to just cover it with another piece of cardstock or something when I go to do my white flecks. Yeah, mask for my mask. I know. So I think I'm just gonna, when I go to do my flex, I'm just gonna kind of go like that, and then I will sort of like come at it from the other angle as well. Yeah, I think it's super cute. But you see now how, like, even though that looked super ugly with the pinky purple and the whatever, picked up the water first. Oh, yeah, I could have. I don't know. I usually don't have too much problem or too much trouble with it, but this time I used a lot more water than I normally do. And you can see I've got like, well, I don't know if you can, but I've got this like little yellow bits here. I'm not really going to bother with it because I'll probably end up messing up my balloons, but I think he's super cute. And he looks so crisp against the background. I think that's my favorite part. Okay, so to start out, I am going to use the Distress Spray Stain. This is a Picket Fence. And I'm just going to go ahead and flick this on. And then I will go ahead and use some gesso or something, acrylic paint. I don't know. We'll see. Because this will fade into the paper. It will look at first like it's nice and white, but you can see already that it kind of just disappears. But it does add some nice texture and depth to the background. So I really do like that. And then I'm just going to kind of move it over like this so I can get this little corner area. And down here. Cool. So that's the only thing. If you're using the Distress Spray Stain on a porous surface, it is more likely to just kind of blend right in, especially if you're using like a Distress Oxide or a Distress ink that is water reactive. If you were using an archival ink, maybe something that's not water reactive, it might just sit right on top. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab some gesso. I think this is my favorite thing to use. And then I'm going to use, what am I going to do? Let's just use, I have just like a little piece of plastic packaging that I use for my ink smushing. I'm just going to put a little bit of this on here and get a paintbrush from somewhere. Let's see. This one's like really dirty. I never cleaned it, so it's like rock hard. Let's see if I can separate the bristles. I'm the worst when it comes to cleaning up in a timely manner. It's not my forte. Okay, whatever. All right, so I'm just gonna like blop a little bit on there like that. You don't need much. This is probably more than I need. I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid back on. Hopefully. All right, and then I am gonna go ahead and dilute that with a little bit of water. You can kind of experiment with it and see like what consistency you like, what works best. And I like to test it first to see, like, see nothing is really coming off right now. So I'm going to mix in some more of the water that is here. And then, you know, you can kind of start to test it and see if it's a good consistency or not, because like right now, not a whole lot is coming off. So if I go to tap it over my paper, I'm not really going to get very good results. So I'm just blending in some more of that water. And I'm going to go ahead and mask my little guy over here. And you can kind of turn the paintbrush a little bit so that you get the stuff that's on all the different sides. And just keep going until you're happy. You could also use the Tim Holtz splatter brush, and that gives you more like little splotches, in my opinion. You get kind of like a finer mist. It's not really a mist, but for lack of a better word. Okay. And then it just leaves my desk pretty messy, but that's all right. All right, so the harder I'm hitting this, you see, I'm getting like little tiny flecks, which is awesome. All right, and then I'm going to carefully pick that up, and you can see here how I don't have anything in this little section. So then that tells me I can go ahead and turn this a little bit like so, and then just keep going. Okay. And since he has a little bit of white on his feet, I'm not really going to worry about spilling too much. I haven't tried gouache. I want to. It's on my list of stuff to try. Now you want to be careful when you start to get to this sort of zone, because picking up and putting down of things, you can start to transfer stuff that you may not want to get on your like masked off area. So just be mindful of where you're putting stuff and if it's wet or not. All right, cool. I'm pretty happy with that. I am going to go ahead and do like just a little right here. Okay. All right. I think that's pretty cool. I'm going to set this over to the side for a second so I can clean up all this white splatter. But you can see that my desk is like a train wreck and it's covered in white splatter, and that is because I'm not very careful. And I tend to just go to town splattering all the things, and I make a big mess. And that happens. But that's why I have this mat on my desk, and it's all good. Okay, cool. So originally my plan was to add in a moon, but I actually kind of really like that it has no ground, because then it kind of just alludes to the fact that maybe he's landing on the moon. And I actually really like that. I think that's really neat. I like it a lot, actually. Okay, so I'm digging that. And then let's see, what else do we want to do? I'm gonna throw that away. This is gonna need a while to dry. It is pretty saturated. I am gonna go in and add a little white dot to his eyes for, I don't know, like making it look a little more realistic, like he's got some life in there. There you go. Kind of brightens him up a little bit. Yes, it definitely does need a sentiment. I don't know yet what I want. So I could do, hold on. We were kind of talking about it earlier. So there's You Mean the World to Me, which would obviously be cute. But like I'm Over the Moon for You, Mission Control, We Have a Birthday. I think I'm not going to use Have a Blast because that one doesn't really fit necessarily. But then there's No One on the Planet I Love More Than You. I like all of them. I think they're all super cute. Am I frozen? My playback just crashed, so I can't see your comments if you say anything. But I'm trying to get it loaded again so that I don't have this problem. I don't know what in the world happened, but all of a sudden it wasn't working. Hopefully I'm not frozen. But I'm getting it pulled back up. So I have to watch an ad on my own channel, you know. Okay, no, it's fine there. Okay, cool. You like, okay, Anna says she likes the mission control. I like the mission control one too. I don't have enough birthday cards. Look good from Indiana. Okay. All right, so let's do, let's go ahead and do the mission control one. The only thing I was wondering about is, so my normal method would be to heat emboss on black. That's kind of my thing. I like to do that on pretty much everything, and this little one is like the perfect size. I think I'm going to put it a little bit over, and then that way I can, excuse me, that way I can give it like a little angle. Let's grab my MISTI. I still have my little space dude in here, so let's take him out. Bloop. I have all these Ed Sheeran songs stuck in my head. Oh, hey Dee! Oh my gosh, I feel like I haven't seen you forever. There's a lot of people actually that I'm like, man, I haven't heard from so-and-so in a real long time. People that used to be in my lives like all the time. They must have gotten bored of me. Oh well. People have lives, I suppose. They can't be on here all night, every night. I did get, let's see, I haven't opened it yet, but I did get my new anti-static pouch. Anti-static pouch. So, let me go ahead and open that up. It's in a bag, but man, is it powdery. Oy. Ooh, a bunch of powder just like flew out of it. Yikes. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close that. Somebody told me that Daniel does that, Del and Artie, and like then cleans the it's been rough September, October for a lot of us with loss of family. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I've missed you too, Dee. Let's see. Letterette embossing ink is already up here. I want to try out the superfine detail also. I did get new embossing ink. I think I'm actually going to stamp that one more time. It's not you. Oh. I love you too. It's hard to know because we don't really have a way to keep in touch. I mean, you guys could always comment or post on my Facebook page, but if I don't hear from you, like I don't have any way to contact you guys. So, it's kind of hard, you know? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. Oh shoot, I do have to actually open it. I was hoping since it was pre-packaged in that set of 3 that I wouldn't have to do this part. Hold on. There we go. All right, now this is the super fine white embossing powder instead of just the regular white embossing powder. I don't know that I've tried this one. I'm not sure if that's what I have or not. Ooh. Ooh. I like it. Cool. It looks, I mean, I don't know if it's just chance, but it looks excellent. Like I didn't really have to do anything. Oh, that's okay, Dee. I'm just glad to see you. Okay, loud noise for a bit. I'm going to turn the heat tool on and let it heat up for a sec. It does look bright. We'll see how it looks once it's all done. I'm gonna make sure I melt it all. Cool. All right. Not the best solution for this, but I should probably use a Swiffer cloth. I did see the new Wagner heat tool. You know, I've been linking to it for a while because they replaced this style, it seems like. But I haven't tried it yet, so that's still on my list. Oh no, 3 hours of sleep is never good. I understand that struggle. The last few days have been a little rough around here. Okay, so I went ahead and cut that at an angle. Yeah, that's gonna be so cute. I love it. Okay, that's adorable. I'm obsessed. I love this little astronaut. Oh my gosh, it's still really wet. I forgot that it was paint and not not the spray stain. It's a good thing I didn't completely just ruin that. Hold on, let me put my heat tool on it for a minute. Lord. And it's going to start to warp a little bit, but I'm just going to heat it from the back in a second, and that should help balance it out. Oh my gosh, Stacy. How old is he turning? I know you just told me. I mean, is he 3? Am I remembering right? He's not that little, is he? Okay. Woohoo. That should at least... Oh, he's 9. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, kids are really hard to sleep with. I don't let my kids sleep in my bed because I don't get any sleep if they do. I'm like, no, you can make a pillow bed on the floor or something. Because they flop and they flip all over the place and they don't sit still. All right, so you can see I'm kind of just like gently curling the background a bit to kind of try to get the warping out of the way. There we go. It's at least better. It's not perfect, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. But it's at least dry enough now that we can kind of mess around with it and see where things are taking us. Kids and dogs, yep. And then I do find that if you see any areas that you're like, oh, there's like no stars there and it looks kind of weird, you can kind of just go in with the gel pen and just add in a couple of stars. So add in the little ones first is what I would do, and then go in and add some larger ones so that it looks a little more natural. But yeah, that'll help, you know, if you have any areas that kind of seem like they're bare or empty, you can just add in a couple more with like the little paint pen, and then it looks a little more natural. Yeah, I think that's going to be so super cool. Okay, so I am going to need to trim down the edges a little bit so that I can put it on a white card base, but I want to wait to do that until it dries, because if I don't, it might rip, and I don't want it to rip. After all that work we did blending the background, but basically it's going to be like that with a little white border there, and then this little guy will come in from the side, like right there. And then I might put in some clear sequins or something like that, but I think I'm going to leave it pretty plain. and I think I'm really happy with it. Yay! I love scene cards. You guys know I love scene cards. And this one is a super easy scene card as far as scene cards go, because we didn't have to really do any masking as far as like layering the stamped images and stuff. So I think that's really cool. Yay! All right, so I'm going to wait for this to be completely dry, but I think that is good to go. Yay! Hooray! Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. I got this order today, and then I've got my scrapbook.com order coming tomorrow, the one I ordered during World Card Making Day sale stuff. So I'm going to get my super cute little enamel pen with the scissors. So I will show you guys that on Monday. And then I have my craft show this weekend. So hopefully I do okay with that. We'll see what happens. I don't want to hold my breath because sometimes I do okay and sometimes I don't sell like anything. So, and this one kind of had a higher, it kind of had a higher price point as far as the cost to register and be a vendor. It's like $50. So it will kind of stink if I don't make at least that much. Because otherwise it's kind of no point. But whatever, you know, at least maybe then I'll hand out some business cards. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Okay, cool. So I think that is all I'm going to do for tonight, but I will be back on Monday night with more something. I don't know what yet, but maybe we'll do some gel plate printing. I haven't done that in a while, and I've been wanting to try out these new paints that I got with my Ranger order. So I'm thinking we might do some gel plate printing on Monday. So prepare to be inky or painty or whatever. Dirty. Prepare to get messy. Okay, cool. So I will see you guys after the weekend. I hope you guys all have a great rest of the week and the weekend. I love you guys so much. Bye.